everyone, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I am your host, as always, Richard Tiemann. This is still 301 episodes later, the award-winning fan show. Thank you. That's right, 301. We had the big 300, and then I decided to take that Thursday off because, man, I was beat. I just needed a day. So much planning and recording and everything went into the 300th episode, and I had my trip to LA coming up that was already on short notice, and so I'm going to have to go and make sure that I've got everything for this impromptu trip for the Battlebots tapings, which I have plenty for you on that one. But my goodness, I just needed a day. I felt bad, I really did. But the important thing was that I got to 300 on schedule because there were a few episodes there, especially in the late 290s, that I was just like, oh my god, if I have to push this thing back by a day or a week, I'm going to be so pissed. So we kept it for a month. It was advertised April 11th. We did it April 11th. It was a 2-hour and 34-minute special, and I am more than impressed with how it all turned out. First hour was nothing but me and the sports guy, James Lehman, of course, making his return back to the show. His first episode ever, he remembers episode 19. He made the joke. He's like, I'll be honest, I started to worry about the status of the show when you invited me to be on. And now he's like a staple. You guys love him. You love James, the sports guy. Then the second hour, we switched from our WrestleMania recap. James went home or went off to do leadership stuff or whatever it is he does at night. I don't know. It's a mystery. Then we switched gears. Mike Herrera's segment, which was a very fun segment. I told him I only needed him for like 10, 15 minutes. We went like 23. So I was very happy about that. Then we had Will Gilman, local comedian, who's going to open for Mick Foley. We went right back to talking about wrestling, and that was a lot of fun. And then we rounded it out with two of my favorites, Mark Istuk and the lovely and talented Aaron Coscarelli, the co-hosts of NFL Blitz, and both from the NFL Network, which I have a story about that as well from my weekend. So it was a great 300 episode. It really was. And, you know, there's a lot of things that sometimes aren't put in the best perspective for me. I'm part of a few podcast groups on Facebook. I'm part of a lot of groups on Facebook, Indoor Football League, National Arena League, Indoor Football in general, Arena Football, sports, Battlebots, comedy, wrestling, and of course podcasts, because that's what this is. It's a live broadcast, but it is available in podcast form. So somebody actually went and posted in there, okay, what's everybody up to as far as their episodes go, as far as how many podcasts they've done. And apparently 300 is something that is not easy to achieve. And I was a little blown away by this because so many people do podcasts now. They will take the time to have a friend over and record for an hour or a half hour, whatever the case may be. They'll do it weekly. And I know that my stats can be a little skewed because NFL Blitz, which happens during the NFL season Monday through Thursday and then again on Sunday, that one is going to hit 300 in no time. It does take a break in the off season, so you kind of have that variable, right? I don't have an off season, but I do only do 3 a week, which is more than once a week, more than a weekly podcast, but it's less than doing the Monday through Friday thing, which I will admit is the ultimate goal. I'd love to do Monday through Friday at 3 o'clock every day for 2 hours. That's where I see the show. I think 2 hours is plenty of time for me to fill. Now, there's a few nights where I don't have guests lined up, and it is what it is, or there's a scheduling conflict, so sometimes it's hard to just fill an hour. But I think 2 hours, if I had enough planning and preparation and everything like that, be easy. 3 is too much. And I say that knowing full well that I love the Dan Patrick Show. I'll listen to the Rich Eisen Show. Both of those are 3 hours. But Raw is 3 hours, and I'm so burnt out after the first 2. I really am. And then, of course, you have SmackDown the next night, which is 2. And it's just it's that perfect amount of time. It really, really is. 3 hours, I think for me at this state would just be pushing it. So 2, Monday through Friday, do a Music Monday and a fun Friday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are what you get right now. But I really want to mix it up. I want to have divisions of the fan show. That's really what opened my eyes this weekend, doing the Battlebots thing. But so 300, though, it's not as easy and achievable as I thought, because people are at like 45, 29, 62 last week. I just recorded my 12th. And then there's guys that are just like, yeah, I've done 1,526. And it's like, okay, like, cool, bro. And there was a few people that were, like 323, 400 and something. But they were far and few between. I mean, we're talking about a post that had up to like 75 comments by the end of the weekend. And a lot of the responses I got back, because I was one of the first people to say that I had just hit my 300th episode, and people were just like, oh my God, that's amazing. Goals, like hashtag wow. So I'm very honored. What I'm getting at, Fan Nation, is thank you for all the listening and the support that you give me to do this 3 nights a week. It's been quite a journey. Started out weekly, started out under a completely different name, the Butt Fumble Podcast. Did a rebranding, which was probably what saved the show, as much as a sports guy would like to take credit. He saved it too. He's contributed enough great content that I'm sure that he's had his hand in ensuring the show's success in the future. But regardless, I think that it has been very eye-opening as far as just where I'm at. And so thank you very much for that. You guys are awesome. But okay, I know you guys are all wanting to hear the stories and the headlines and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get to it. This is episode 301. Yeah, I'm into it today. 301. It's been too long since I've been back on the show. 5 days. Let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, it's been 5 days. It's too long. It's too long of a fan show break. But oh my goodness, the headlines. Reuben Foster can't stay out of trouble. Color me shocked on that one. It was reported. Was it Friday? The whole Reuben Foster thing, or Saturday that he's been arrested and we're supposed to let this thing play out and whatever. I'm over it. I understand people wanting to support other people and give them a second, maybe even a third, fourth, or by God, a fifth chance. But I'm very over these people that can't seem to learn. And it's not like he got pulled over for a DUI. No, we're talking like the stories is that he dragged his girlfriend by her hair out the front door, something along those lines. I mean, we're talking about if it were you or me and we did this, whoa! Like, there's not a lawyer in the world that could spin it to where we look like a semi-decent human being after that. There's just not. And I say this because Alden Smith had the same damn problem, folks. Like, he was his own worst enemy. And it was beyond comical. It was one of those things where you kind of looked and went, huh? Like, did he really just... He said that. He said that. And that was when the 49ers released him after his third incident, his third alcohol and firearm incident. Alden Smith, right? It was supposed to be the next Lawrence Taylor or Ray Lewis or something. They were going to dominate with that front that had Alden Smith. And I don't doubt that we would have. We would have, for sure. But here's a guy who can't get out of his own way, who is his own worst enemy, and gets released and then goes to the Raiders. And the statement that he makes, oh my goodness. He says, it's nice to be part of an organization that looks after their own. And I'm like, really? The 49ers gave you how many chances and you just squandered the hell out of them? I was so blown away that he had the balls to say something like that. Because it wasn't like it was one strike and we're out, a zero tolerance kind of thing. No. The dude, like, had 3 chances with the 49ers. They got him help. And it just... It's nice to be part of an organization that looked after their own. And then he goes and does it again. Like, he got in trouble over the weekend, too. I was blown away. I really was. It was, to me, it was honestly crazy to hear about all the stuff that had gone on. And I don't understand it. Like, are they not paying you enough that you can't just, like, behave? And I raised the question because I've traveled a lot, right? And that story right there. So Southwest, a person died today because the engine blew. The plane landed safely, an emergency landing in Philadelphia. But I fly Southwest. And on both my flights down and back, I had a connection in Oakland and Sacramento. So I had a connection in Oakland on the way down and a connection in Sacramento on the way back. For all 4 of those, I sat damn near right over the engine. And that's how this person died, was that they were sitting on the engine when it blew and it killed them. So I fly Southwest and I'm thinking, oh my God, that could have been me. And it's mind-numbing. It really is to think about that. I've been home for 3 days now, and that happened 3 days after. I was, jeez, man. Whew. Okay, so baggage handlers, they just toss your stuff, and I know the nickname is baggage tossers, but for the love of God, like if I was one of those grandparents or that uncle that brought like really fancy, expensive gifts, you know, when I visited my family, my nieces, my nephews, my grandkids, and I couldn't fit them in a carry-on, so I had to check them in a bag. And if I got back and they were broken or ruined or something like that because the baggage tossers can't just like set them down, and I'm not even asking for a gentle set down, just set them down. Don't toss them or slam them, because that's what they do. I would be so pissed. I would be beyond pissed. And I ask myself, are we not paying you enough to, like, give a shit? I'm so confused. Why can't you just care about I know they make good money. I do, because I used to work at an airport. I know they make good money doing that. And I know that they may hate their job. But my God, find a different one then, because you definitely get paid enough to care. And so for NFL players to continually show bad habits and they cannot learn from their own mistakes and they cannot get out of their own way, I have no sympathy for them, because you are getting paid so much that all you have to do is just like behave yourself. And it's not even, we're talking like in school. I'm not meaning like the behave yourself, like don't put the whoopee cushion down on the substitute teacher's chair when they come in. Like, I'm talking about don't get up and smack somebody in the middle of the classroom unprovoked, or don't yell out obscenities at the teacher because you hate your assignment for that day or you don't want to read out of the chapter of that book. I'm saying, like, this should be simple stuff. Don't smoke pot. As much as it is that I hate to say a stupid rule, it is still a rule that hasn't ever changed in the NFL. So if you keep getting busted for smoking pot, just stop smoking pot. If you keep getting busted for alcohol or a DUI, stop drinking. Or at least be responsible about it. And if you continue to get busted for like domestic abuse or a concealed firearm or whatever, like, just don't be an asshole. It's mind-numbing how simple this should be, yet it's not. So that's what was happening over the weekend. Long way back to, we're going to bring it home, Reuben Foster, 49ers, whatever. In fact, let me go ahead and see what the latest is on this, because I'm curious now. Reuben Foster, 49ers. Oops, 59ers. That's not their name. 49ers. Speaking of 49ers, I need to give a big shout out to Mr. Robert Alberino. He is the vice president of 49ers media, and he was so cool. He was in Spokane for his daughter's volleyball tournament, And I found out on Twitter. I hit him up. I said, hey, man, you're in Spokane. Let me buy you a drink. Let's talk some Niners. You know, I don't get Niners fans up here very often. I'm one of the few. And he said, man, I'd love to, but I can't. Got my daughter's volleyball tournament going. Otherwise, I'd be all for it. We'll connect another time. And then he sent me another message. He said, hey, send me your size and your address. Okay. So I do. And on the day of my 300th episode, I get a package from him. It is a very nice, very expensive windbreaker jacket by Nike and a brand new hat. You know, I love hats, a fitted one. So I'm happy as a clam. This is like the coolest stuff ever. I get a nice embossed letter, postcard thing that says, sorry, we couldn't connect this time around, but next time for sure. So that's why I love this team. I really do. It's because they have been nothing but good to me. I'm confident this 2018 will be the year that I get credentialed to a 49ers game. That's the goal, right? That's like the last thing on my long list of checklist to do. So the Reuben Foster thing, 5 days ago, his NFL career may be over after just 1 year. 49ers Reuben Foster charged faces up to 11 years. 11 years! So like I said, this isn't some... like you got into a bar fight or you got pulled over for a DUI. No, domestic violence. Faces up to 11 years in prison if convicted. You gotta just not be stupid, man. You get paid too much to be this dumb. In other NFL news, though, of course, the draft is just 10 days away, and every analyst says that every player is a game changer. Nick Mangold declares retirement. He will sign a one-day deal with the New York Jets to retire a Jets. I think, sidebar here on that, I think that if you're going to sign a one-day deal with a team so that you can retire with that team, it should be something included in that contract that you get to play one down of one game, be it preseason or regular, so that then you really can retire as a member of that team and have your little moment there. So that would be my vote. But anyway, Dolphins signed former Cowboys tight end Gavin Escobar. Vikings are signing linebacker Eric Kendricks to a 5-year, $50 million extension that includes $25 million guaranteed. And then, let's see here. A lot of people are saying that Tom Brady's new heir is going to be drafted. I thought that was Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's see. Broncos released C.J. Anderson. Not surprised at all. And, yeah, that really recaps what happened. Reuben Foster will not take part in team activities while tending to his current legal matters. The off-season workout program begins tomorrow. That was 2 days ago via Field Yates. Patriots QB Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski will not attend the start of New England's off-season program Monday. Gronkowski still is considering whether to play in the upcoming season. Okay, get over yourself. Like, seriously. Yes or no? Should or get off the pot? What is happening? Ooh. The 2018 schedule to be announced Thursday, April 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network and NFL.com. So we are officially in the home stretch of another NFL season. When they start talking draft and schedule, like, it's pretty much kiss your summer goodbye. If you're a journalist, if you're in the media, because that's what goes on. So I started a few minutes late. There was traffic issues. I know you guys are dying to hear about Battlebots, but I made a promise to Jordan Mosely that I would have him on so that we could talk about Carolina, the Cobras, and their first win of the season. Cobras over the Mammoths in Maine, 56-42. The Massachusetts Pirates are 2-0. They are undefeated after defeating the Jacksonville Sharks 63-56. My. What a time to be alive. There was a lot of inclement weather, so there were some games that got pushed around, bumped, and moved. One being that the Cedar Rapids and Green Bay Blizzard game is postponed indefinitely right now. They announced today via Twitter and social media. But it was hilarious because the Rattlers and the Storm were supposed to take each other on Saturday, but the inclement weather made it so that the Rattlers couldn't travel to Sioux Falls. And in the headline, the press release by my good buddy Peter of the Arizona Rattlers said, and I quote, Rattlers and Sioux Falls postponed due to blizzard. And I'm just like, the blizzard took down both Sioux Falls and Arizona, and they weren't even scheduled to play this weekend. And that got quite the response. That was funny, though. But then they did end up playing, and it was a great game. 48-40 is your final score in Sioux Falls in favor of the Rattlers. They are 2-0 over Sioux Falls, 3-0 since defeating them for the first time ever in last year's 2017 United Bowl. So the last time the Storm beat the Rattlers was at home, but it was over a year ago when they opened the season against Arizona in Sioux Falls in the Denny Sanford Premier Center. How crazy is that? And then we had another game, Nebraska in Iowa. That game was a good one. That saw Iowa defeat Nebraska, so they tied the series now 1 apiece, 1-1. And let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, 48-40 was the final. 41-25 was the final there, and they did it with the backup quarterback for Iowa because Drew Powell was trying out for the Canadian Football League. Then we've got hockey playoffs, we've got NBA playoffs. We'll go over all of that and Battlebots after my conversation with Mr. Jordan Mosely. So that is it for the immediate headlines. We're going to have plenty more conversation after I come back from commercial break with my guest this evening, so don't go anywhere. We got plenty more of the Fan Show, folks, coming up right after this.
This is The Sheet.
Gets me all revved up. My face is now red. My ears are just freaking boiling.
He's so raw that Sky hates him.
Yeah, he had 51 touchdowns, 4,900 total yards.
I know y'all like that, but I got to run. And only in Alabama that could happen, I have to say.
They're so good, man. They would win the Big Ten if they were in the Big Ten.
You could be doing something vision-based in front of you and reach down and grab a handful of insane goodness.
Give it to him. Kudos. I'm clapping like a golfer. Very good, Johnny. I'm proud of you.
Wow, you guys agree on something again? I'm very impressed. You ever had a bad week? You know, just you walk outside, step in a puddle, like right when you walk outside. I mean, how's there a puddle right outside your house? Or you stand on the curb and somebody drives by and splashes water up on you? Or it's just raining on you, not anyone else?
I will tell you, before you go any further, I cannot hear Chad when he speaks.
Good. Here, listen to the sheet, man. I don't really know what we're doing.
Every Saturday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on WBLZ Sports.
Whether it be your industrial, commercial, or residential needs, Gen Service is the electrical contractor for you. The Gen Service team has the expertise, commitment, and educational years to help you solve all your electrical concerns. They have you in their best interest with helpful suggestions to accommodate your every want. Give them a call, no matter the size of the job, at 740-438-7173. Mention WBLZ Sports, and you'll get a discount. That's Gen Service, 740-438-7173.
This is Nick Ciccarelli, the mad scientist of sports. Join me and Dr. D, Derek Jones, live every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific, for the Mad Scientist Sports Lab. The big intellect, the experiments on the chalkboard, and the guest subjects will be rolling in. Mad Scientist Sports Lab, only on WBLZ Sports, where we got balls.
Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. He has over 30 years of painting experience. He's interior, exterior, commercial, or residential. Doug Peffer covers it all. Is your house looking ugh? We'll call on Doug. Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. 404-966-3361. Mention WBLZ Sports and get a special We've Got Balls discount. That's Doug Peffer Painting and Pressure Washing. 404-966-3361.
Check out Thursday Night Tailgate, where NFL legends live on. We bring you 5 NFL legends every week, sharing their stories and insights, plus our spotlight on the positive. Hear which players are doing great things in their communities. Now on WBLZ Sports Talk Radio and WBLZSports.com.
ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Joining me now, well, he's one of my favorite Instagram follows, and then we finally met in person, face-to-face. He's a member of the Carolina Cobras. It is Jordan Mosely. How you doing, man?
Doing okay, Rich. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Great to talk to you, especially on much better circumstances than last time. Last time I was there in person with you, was watching WrestleMania. Talked a little bit about that, but it was fresh off your guys' season opener. First loss of the season, but now you guys are in the win column. A lot of people feel you should be 2-0. What was the, emotion, the mentality, everything like being on the road, getting the win, and heading back home?
Well, it was just good to, get back in the win column, be able to get the first win in franchise history. That was another big deal, but just get back to the type of results that we know that we're used to having around, Carolina and other places that I played for Coach Back. We work hard and we expect to win and, be able to receive our check on payday, which is getting a win versus, hopefully anybody that we play. That's always our goal as a team.
Yeah, and you guys are one of 3 expansion teams, so everything's, to fans, it's brand new. But to you guys, a lot of you have worked together before. A lot of you know each other from other leagues, other teams, and, of course, a lot of you know and respect Coach Back. But there's a hell of a lot of talent on this squad, and I felt that it showed in the opener. And then, of course, you guys on the road against the Maine Mammoths and getting your first win. So now that you guys are back to 500, you've got the win under your belt, and since I know a lot of you guys are very week-to-week mentality, this week you will host another great team, the 2-0 Pirates, who just took down Jacksonville. What's it been like knowing that you got to get right back to work again?
Well, once again, like I said, it's just a part of our routine. We take it a week at a time. Me, myself, personally, I take Sundays because all our games this season are on Saturday, so I usually take Sunday to just relax and, recover my body, things of that nature. But starting with film and, the cryotherapy and chiropractor and all that type of stuff and acupuncture starts on Monday. Work week starts all over again and, it's another opponent, and like Billy likes to always say, Coach Back, the most important game is the next game. And the biggest game of the season is the next game because it's exactly that. It's the next game on our schedule. So
now for you guys, I know there's no such thing as like a perfect game. I know some of you guys individually can come very close to it for yourselves as far as the goals that you had in each matchup. But as far as a whole, there's always stuff, and a coach will tell you this first thing that can be improved upon and that you want to do better next time. But to go from a loss at home in your season opener to a win on the road, what do you feel as a player you guys did better than last time as far as, was it execution, mentality? Really, if you had to pinpoint anything, what would you say you learned from that last game?
Just executing. I play offensive line. It's 4 of us. We didn't execute for the most part or for the best part week 1, but we came back, watched the film, reassessed, got in the weight room, did what we needed to do to rehabilitate our bodies, get some rest. And, we were able to put out a great product in week 2, and we plan on putting out a great product, a dominant product, than the following weeks going forward.
What's going to be the toughest part about facing a team like the Pirates, who are brand new as well, but they're 2-0, and they've got a really stout defense, and that's going to be what you've come face-to-face with this Saturday?
Well, I respect every opponent, and I feel like we, as a Carolina Cobras, we respect every opponent every week. So, it's a great matchup versus a really great team. We respect the Massachusetts Pirates. Coach Amir Ismail is a personal friend of mine. I played with him overseas in China. He coached me in 2014 in the IFL. Pasquale Vacquiao, Nick Hag, a couple other good friends of mine I have on the team. So it'll be a really, really, really fun time getting to compete against those guys, especially 2 people that I came into arena football with way back in 2014. So.
Yeah, it should be a great matchup. I personally can't wait to watch it because I'll actually have like a weekend to myself that I'm not busy running around all over the place and can sit back, relax, and watch some National Arena League football. What's your favorite thing about Coach Billy Back?
Just the fact that he never he's taught me how to be a pro in a lot of different ways, and more specifically to that comment, just my favorite quote of his that he has is keep the labor, just bring me the baby. And it's not about talking a good game. It's not about who you know or where you've been or the opportunities you may or may not have had, blah, blah, blah. It's about being a professional every day. And it's about doing the proper things within yourself that you know in your mind that are the right things that are going to propel you and propel us as a team to victory. And I think he does a very good job of giving us those resources and directing us and putting us in the right direction to be able to be successful week in and week out and day out as athletes, as people, all the above.
Yeah, I think he's a very down-to-earth guy. He's definitely a player's coach, and he's I've never seen him get into like a screaming match with a player. I know he gets heated up, but I know that beyond that, he's usually very, very collected. He understands, that when things go great, they go great. When they go wrong, they go wrong. So I think that, for a coach that's as young as he is, I don't think that there could be a better one out there for you guys on this new journey in Carolina. How long have you been playing ball for?
I've played for Billy. Well, he wanted me to come play for him back in 2014. I chose to go play for the Cedar Rapids Titans in the ISL. And from there, I started my first year playing for him. Actually, he got his hands on me 2015 for the Nashville Venom. Of course, 16, I was with the Green Bay Blizzard. And then 2017, me and him reunited in Wichita Falls with the Knox, even though I ended in 2017 with the Arizona Rattlers.
And when you started playing ball, what age were you at?
Oh, I started playing organized ball in 10th grade in high school. Tried out for the 9th grade team. Quit after a hard day's conditioning session the first time and ended up coming back the 10th grade year. The 9th grade head coach stayed on my behind a whole school semester about coming, make sure I came back to the team, guy named Kurt Wilson. So, that's when I really first started. But I've been playing backyard football in the street, in the hood back home with my friends since I was 5, 6 years old. So I've been playing football basically all my life.
Have you played any other positions other than O-line?
I play fullback. I play center. Use it to tackle. Other than that, collegiately, I was a left tackle. Other than that, I've pretty much played all across the offensive line, and I just started to dabble a little bit into playing some of the defensive line once I got into arena back in 2014.
So you're pretty much just an expert at like hitting people and pushing them around at this point.
If I was an expert, I'd be in the NFL, but I think I'm pretty good at what I do. I got work to do always, so I always got a room to get better,
What's your go-to end zone dance? Because I know that you probably got one planned for that one once-in-a-lifetime moment.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of traditional, so I'll probably go with like a football spike and maybe like a sumo dance, like, how the sumo guys kind of, slam one leg, slam the other leg, kind of paying homage to all the fat guys out there. They do get in the end zone, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's awesome.
I like to think that I'm a dancer, but I don't have much rhythm from what my teammates tell me, so I got to work on that.
See, and I appreciate the homage that you would pay to the other fat guys out there. But, when you and I talked, you were like, I'm a big wrestling fan. I thought for sure you would have had some wrestler's move as like your touchdown dance.
I don't know. I mean, maybe not off the top of my head, but I don't know, man. I mean, the wrestling, I'm a big wrestling fan, but I can't just say off the top of my head, like, other than maybe like the People's Elbow or something like that. But that's obvious. But I don't know, maybe rock bottom in one of my other old linemen or something like that. Who knows? That's probably a good close second place pick.
If you're gonna rock bottom or People's Elbow anybody on your line, it's got to be Chad. All right, you got to make me that promise.
For sure. Because he's just as big of a WWE fan as I am, so I know he'll definitely be into it.
All right, man. Well, you guys got the Pirates up next. You're back home. I know that there's been a lot of weather issues around all the different leagues right now. How was the tornado and everything? It looks like everybody's okay, but was that concerning for you at all?
Well, geographically, we're in the southwestern part of Greensboro, so that was a weather event that took part in the eastern part of the city. And you know what I'm saying, like, just my prayers out to some people on the eastern side of town in Greensboro that I know personally that went through that tornado situation. Definitely praying for them. But we just got like a lot of wind and some heavy rain. That I guess luckily nothing major. But yeah, I've seen it. Like, I think Green Bay and Cedar Rapids in the IFL tonight just indefinitely postponed their game because the weather's so crazy in the Midwest right now. So, I mean, I'm used to that back in the day. So, being in my days in the IFL in the past, so, that weather can be hectic this time of year to traveling for sure.
Yeah, and it's not something that you really think about it around the spring and summer. I mean, I know with the NFL in the fall and winter, that's when you can get a lot of that weather. But,
Right.
I'm glad everybody's safe and that you guys are good. Back home, you're going to get ready for Mass and the Pirates. But, hey, man, I appreciate you taking some time to reflect on your guys' first of hopefully many wins this season. But give the guys my best,
sure.
and you take care of yourself, man.
For sure, man. For sure, man. Next time you come to Greensboro, man, we got to get a dub. I got to get that belt, man, one of these days. It may not happen, but me or one of my teammates, bro. For real.
You can wrestle me for it, all right, for the day. You can if you win, you can wear it everywhere to 7-Eleven or Cookout or whatever.
I like my chances. We'll see.
All right, man. You take care.
All right, Rich. Bye-bye.
That was Jordan Mosely of the Carolina Cobras. And with that, we're going to take our last commercial break. I've got plenty to talk about and tell you about. Sorry, no spoilers. About my weekend and my adventures and what's coming up on the Fan Show this week. So don't go anywhere. We got more coming up right after this. You're listening to the Fan Show, your home for all things football and nonsense. My special guest tonight, Farouk. Farouk, welcome.
He's no expert, but here's the thing. Football and nonsense is what he brings. Sports talk with a twist. It's the Fan Show!
Do you know him as Kevin from the League? It is none other than very funny Steve Ranazisi.
99% of the population doesn't know who I am, but the 1% do. They yell and scream inappropriate things at me in public.
Kyle Ray. Kyle, welcome.
And I was like, wow, I think we just saw the whole Super Bowl, Phyllis. It was like that scene in The Simpsons, like, why rent the movie? I just saw the best part.
Funny man Brad Williams.
Yeah, I'm here. No, I flew in just for your podcast. I've heard about this podcast. I've heard it's fantastic.
It's Mac and Farva, but they are my special guests tonight. Steve Lemmy, Kevin Heffernan.
I was in Mexico for 10 weeks in a Speedo. Like, that was me going to work. I was putting on a Speedo.
Farva is the most fun to play, and it was a blast to do that again, to do Farva again.
So then the makeup artist had to put Vaseline on your body, right?
Yeah.
And then put the powdered sugar on top of that. Is your name really Richard Siemens?
Listen live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night on Spreaker.com or subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Two of the voices that you heard on that commercial are actually relevant to what I'm about to go over right now. First of all, let me just say that the Battlebots experience was a lot more than I ever had imagined or anticipated. And I'm not meaning that as a knock to Battlebots in any way. It's just like any live event you go to that you have seen televised. You don't fully understand what it is that you're about to be a part of until you're actually there. And this was the first time that I had ever been in any kind of environment like this. You're in a giant empty warehouse airplane hangar, and you've got just this massive bulletproof glass structure. And it's the battle box, and then you've got rows of bleachers on either side for the audience. You've got all these cameras and crew running around. And then in the back, you've got what's known as the pit, where there's all these crews working on all these amazing bots. I mean, it was really something special. So, huge shout out to Greg Munson, John Remar of Battlebots. Greg Munson, one of the co-founders. John Remar, who was right there with him. He's one of the referees, the head referee. And then to Josh Gross and Daniel, Phil Zimmerman, all you guys at Discovery, you were so awesome, so hospitable. I am truly humbled and blessed to have such an experience like that under my belt. But let me just say, when you meet Farouk, and him and I, he's been on the show 3-4 times now. He's borderline semi-regular to talk about his Eagles or his cooking show or Battlebots or whatever. But, I mean, he is such a genuine dude, but he gets in the zone. I mean, it may take him a couple of takes to get one intro right, but it's not because he's screwing up. He wants to get it perfect. He wants to nail it. And when he is in stride, I mean, he is just unbelievable with that microphone. And he has the whole audience in the palm of his hands. I mean, there were Farouk chants, people that were going nuts more for him than like any other cast or crew member. And you've got Chris Rose and Kenny Florian on commentary. And you've got all these famous bot builders that put 30 grand into building a robot just to tear another one to shreds or get torn to shreds. I mean, it was incredible. So Farouk is awesome. He's just as good as advertised. And if he screws up, it's not even him screwing up. It's, hey, I want to get this 100%. So when he does the intros, when you guys see the final product, more than I'd say 90% of those, he nailed the first time through. It's fantastic. Now, Kenny and Chris, the commentary guys, they were awesome. They screwed up a couple of times, but it was really comical just because they would make a bit out of it, right? So they were a lot of fun to see, all the different crews and moving pieces going on, the cameramen, the MC, the guys that would coordinate this and that. Those were awesome. And getting to know all the different builders and their different bots and their personalities, it was just such an amazing experience. And then to top it all off, I mean, to get 18 interviews in one day done with all these different bot builders, cast and crew. I mean, I cannot wait for you guys to see what I've got for you once the show finally airs. Discovery and Science Channel, May 11th. Set your DVRs, your calendars, your reminders, whatever you need to do it, because it's going to be awesome. First trailer dropped last night. Sunday they wrapped. I was there Friday and Saturday. So getting there almost didn't happen. So I fly and I connect in Oakland. I go from Spokane to Oakland. And I'm supposed to go from Oakland to L.A. and then get an Uber and go the rest because the first recording session is from 1 to 4:30. My plane left at like 5:40 in the morning. So I'm thinking I got plenty of time to get there. Well, there was a mechanical issue with that plane. It landed and the pilot's like, something's not right. So they grounded it, which I'm fine with, man. I don't want some mechanic under the hood of an airplane for 20 minutes or an hour and be like, all right, she's good, let's go. Like, ground that thing and give it a 3-4 times over. So that made me nervous. And luckily, I was standing next to one of the Southwest workers who had a walkie on when they made that announcement before they made the official announcement over the intercom. So I was like one of the first 3 people in line at the desk, because all of a sudden I get a notification on my phone that says your flight is now leaving at 3. It's 8:45 in the morning. My plane was supposed to have left 25 minutes ago. You want me to stay in an airport for 6 hours? No. No. This happened with Greyhound the weekend before. It's not happening now with Southwest. So they were super. They were bumping us all over to different flights because a lot of us were either making a connection or that was our destination. And out of Oakland or San Francisco or Sacramento, you got to understand there's a lot of flights going to L.A. There's a lot of flights in general going to L.A. because it's, I think, the second or third largest airport in the country next to O'Hare and Miami. I don't know how it works with the airports, but LAX is huge. There's a lot of planes going in and out of that place. So they put me on the 915, thank God. And I said, you guys are too kind. They're like, yeah, you say that, but I wonder what the person that can't get on the 915 has to say, which was unfortunate. I went from being an A boarding group, having like first dibs at the whole cabin, to a C boarding group and having to be sandwiched in between a couple of people, which, you know, I'm not too fond of. But, hey, that's the life, right? I chose this life. So I fly in, I get there, get taken to my Airbnb. Jesse was a super nice guy. He was a great host. Then I went to the first taping, and I was just blown away. First day was pretty much meet and greet. Went around, visited all the builders, all the cast and crew. Said, hey, how about we do all of this tomorrow? I'll get a schedule put together. I'll come up with some great questions. We'll knock out these interviews. It'll be great. So I just enjoyed myself in like the VIP and the catering area and back in the pit, getting to know all these guys, watching the filming and the fans and the crowd. And it was just a really fantastic experience for me. There is so much good content for not only my show, but just from what I witnessed firsthand for their Season 3. I couldn't be more excited about Battlebots. But it is something that I will say, anything that you've ever been a fan of that you have seen on TV, if you get the opportunity to watch it live and in person, do it. Don't hesitate. Just do it. You may feel like, oh, there won't be that big of a difference, except for there is. There is a huge difference. One, these bots are huge, and they're awesome, and the crews are friendly, and they're awesome. But it was, wow, what an experience. So added a few names to my list of special guests, added another event to the events that I've covered now, Battlebots Season 3, premiering May 11th on the Science and Discovery Channel. Met Farouk, got to hang out with John. I mean, it was a great time. It really was. It was a borderline vacation for me. Then I came back. I was exhausted. I'm still a little tired. Started a brand new job yesterday. But it's okay. It's all right, you know. We do the things we love to do because we know that we love to do them, and there's a reason for that. Now, in other news, because like I said, I can't give you much more without spoiling anything, and that was part of the deal. I can't do spoilers. That's all right. It's okay, because I'll have plenty of content for you guys. Video, audio, you name it. It's going to be fantastic. So, the Stanley Cup playoffs have officially started. Right now, Game 3 is underway between the Capitals and the Blue Jackets, as well as the Jets and the Wild. Jets lead the Wild 1-0. Capitals lead the Blue Jackets 1-0. Golden Knights are at the Kings for Game 4. That's coming up later. And I believe they lead 3-0, which is just, wow. Like, holy crap. Who saw that coming? I love it. I really do. Yeah, so Golden Knights lead the series 3-0. Sweep the leg, Johnny. Sweep the leg. So let's see what these official matchups are for the NHL playoffs. Playoffs. Because I personally am very, 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 very excited about these playoffs. So, number 1 seeded Predators lead the Avalanche 2-1. Okay? Then we have the Jets and the Wild, and the Jets lead that 2-1. Then we have the Golden Knights, number 1 seed, and the Kings, a wild card. Golden Knights lead it 3-0. Then we have a 2 and a 3, the Ducks and the Sharks. Sharks lead it 3-0. Penguins, and I don't know this logo, but Penguins lead it 2-1. Is that the Flyers? Is that the Philadelphia Flyers? I think it might be. Then we have the Capitals. And yeah, I don't know who that one is either. Oh, Blue Jackets. And the Capitals lead 2-0. Then we have the Bruins and the Maple Leafs. The Bruins lead it 2-1. And finally, the Lightning and the New Jersey Devils. Tampa Bay leads it 2-1. What's that other one? So that is Penguins and Philadelphia Flyers. I'm getting this hockey thing. I'm getting it. So that's what's going on in the world of hockey right now. In the world of NBA, we're getting ready for, I think, Cavs Warriors 3, 4. I don't even. Why? Why bother having a regular season if it's just going to be the same damn teams every time? Warriors over the Spurs, 116-101. Golden State leads at 2-0, big surprise. Heat over the 76ers, 113-103. And these were both finals yesterday. Series is tied at 1-1. Then we have the Wizards and the Raptors happening right now. Raptors lead at 1-0. It is Raptors 100, Wizards 87. We have Game 2 in Boston right now. The Bucks and the Celtics. Celtics lead at 42-35. And then we will have Pelicans and the Trailblazers later. New Orleans leads at 1-0. Pacers and Cavaliers will happen tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And Indiana, the Pacers lead at 1-0. That one does surprise me. That one is very, very surprising. How about that? And I feel like there was one more. No, that's That's all your NBA action. That's all your hockey action. So this is where we're at right now. I mentioned there were two voices in that promo that you heard that have relevance this week. So first one was Farouk. Second one, Steve Ranazzisi. Thursday night, special airtime, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Will be making his return to the Fan Show. It's going to be a good time. Very excited to have Steve back on. He was a blast last time. I expect nothing less this time around. So, what a weekend, what a month it's been, what a 2018. I told you guys I had a good feeling that this was going to be the best year ever for the Fan Show. It has so far lived up to that prediction, and we're only in April. So I'm going to get some rest. I'm going to do some homework because my schooling has taken sort of a back seat to everything going on. But that's okay. I just started. It's okay. I'm still going to be top of my class. I'm not worried about it. I'm still going to be top of my class. Oh, but it really does deserves more attention than what I've given it. So we're gonna do that. So we've got indoor football action that we will talk about probably tomorrow, since Thursday we've got a special episode for you, special guest, special episode. Tomorrow's Power Rankings Day for both the NAL and the IFL. We'll probably have Connor Ferguson back on to talk about that. But don't forget, you can listen by subscribing to the podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Download WBLZ Sports, the app. You can hear replays of the show the next day at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific. If you want to listen live, if you can listen live, fanshow.com or Spreaker.com/user/thefanshow. You can support the Fan Show by going to teespring.com/thefanshow and ordering yourself a very nice t-shirt or hoodie, or both, one of each. And then, of course, the home base for all things football and nonsense, although very quiet right now. Plenty of content on the way is thefanshow.com. But we've got plenty in store for you guys in the upcoming days, weeks, and months. Still got 3 more stops on the Fan Show tour. Hopefully, weather permitting and planes permitting. That Southwest thing kind of shook me up. Anyway, so I do want to thank you all for tuning in this evening. We'll be back tomorrow night. Again, these episodes this week have different start times because of a scheduling conflict that came up this week. As I mentioned, started a new job. Hopefully, when my official schedule gets released next week, I'll be back to our regularly scheduled broadcast time, which is 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners. And remember, of course, it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his own player's blood? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.